I love that OnlyFans lets you pay a creator directly. 10 points for ethical porn. However, I just heard a story about a darker side of OnlyFans that has set me on a rampage. Rampage? How do you say that word? I don't know. I'm livid. Let's get into it. So this 21-year-old girl, Livvy, met a guy on Hinge. He's about 10 years older than her, but he also said he was 30 on the app, and then in person, he accidentally said he was 31, and she was like, And he probably said that classic line where they're like, oh, the app won't let me change it, which I think is bullshit. Red flag. Anyway, they start dating and he wines and dines her. He said he had all these businesses, that he works with celebrities. He's the kind of guy who's like with the DJ in the booth all the time, but you don't really know how he got there or how he knows them. But you're like, he's a good time, whatever. Livvy also said that he was pretty hot, which makes me upset. Over a few months, he subtly inserts himself into every part of her life. He says he's in between homes doing renovations, so he asks to move in with her. And Livvy just starts to get closer to him and trusts him and depends on him emotionally, as you do when you begin a relationship, especially if you are 21 and don't have as much relationship experience. I'm not shaming anyone for being less experienced. I'm just pointing it out because this man, who can't remember if he's 30 or 31, was strategic about targeting a much younger woman, in my opinion. So Livvy's starting to think about graduating. She's thinking about what to do after college. What's her next move? He says, I have an idea that could help you make a lot of money. Why don't you and I start an OnlyFans page as a couple? You don't have to show your face. You'll just make so much bank. Livvy's not sure, but she asks some of her friends who also have OnlyFans pages, and they say that they love it. So she's like, okay, you know what? I'll give it a try. It's like, I'll manage the whole thing. I'll do the back end, all the money, and we can split 50-50. So they kick it off. And very soon he says, this page will probably do a lot better if it's just you. A little while later, he says, this content will do a lot better if you show more than just a bikini. Livvy says, that's not what I said I wanted to do. He says, you're being so dramatic and crazy and difficult, and you're going to ruin this for us and not make us any money. How could you be so selfish? How could you be so immature? Gaslighter! There's nothing wrong with showing what you want to show on OnlyFans, but in this case, it definitely gets out of hand way more than I'm telling you right now. You can imagine her comfort zone is majorly pushed and starts controlling her health so that she can keep her OnlyFans body. Livvy actually came on my podcast, The Dating Detectives, which I co-host with a private investigator, to tell her story. I don't want to spoil everything, but I will say that this asshole is still out there. And the interview made me emotional because it was clear that Livvy really wanted a place to share her story, because this is not just happening to her. Trust me, it's not. We know that for a fact. Again, I don't want to spoil anything. I know you want the whole story in a social media clip, but I think it's important that we hear these from the survivors themselves so we can hear all the nuance and emotion that comes with them. And we're starting to find that the Dating Detectives is becoming a community where survivors and everyone can really connect with each other, whether people hear a story and just relate to it, or they hear a story and recognize the person that they're talking about. It's a community to empower each other and learn from each other's stories. And Livvy was so cool. She will be the first to tell you that the story is juicy. Let me know if you listen. And for legal reasons, the podcast is entertainment purposes only. Because I have said that, I will now also say that if I can help it, I would love to see this guy behind bars. I will do whatever I can, I swear.